Welcome to another edition of Bowie TV Sports Spotlight. During this hour, we're bringing you highlights from our shows focused on all things sports in the DMV. Please be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. First up on Pitt Sports Zone, Elizabeth City State University linebacker Chris Calhoun shares his thoughts after being invited to the HBCU Legacy Bowl game in New Orleans. Then, on Flip the Script, catch the final part as Jade and Courtlandt dive into the most recent biggest headline topics in sports. On Baltimore Ravens Rundown, we catch the highlights and press conferences from the Ravens' Week 16 loss against the New England Patriots. Lastly, we take a look at highlights and press conferences. Don't go anywhere, and as always, enjoy this week's episode of Bowie TV's Sports Spotlight. What's going on, everybody, man? Y'all know what it is. I'm your host on Pitt Sports Zone. Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio, Bowie TV, coming to you live yet again. Today, we are blessed to have Chris Calhoun, linebacker at Elizabeth City State University. How you doing today, man?
Good, man. I'm blessed.
Thank you. Appreciate you, man, for taking this time out, to sit down, talk with me, join me, and be able to tell, share your story, your excitement, your journey, and the path forward.
Yes, sir. I'm excited.
So let's go ahead and start you off with a couple of icebreakers. So first off, what's your favorite food?
Man, well, right now probably I love me some fried chicken, mac and cheese, like regular soul food. But being in California too, I gotta go with Mexican food as well. So it's kind of those two. I'm between those two right now.
Hey, listen, you get the best of it all.
Exactly.
All right, so two, what is your favorite vacation or a dream destination?
Ooh, man, I probably got two right now. I probably got Greece, just like man, so some of the views out there and like the water and the food, it looks beautiful out there. So probably there, and then one that I've been to up in Cancun, Mexico, it's so much fun there, and the beach is beautiful, the food's great, the vibes is everything. So
yeah,
probably those two right there.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on Mexico. I would shout this place out, but I don't want to get them too much notoriety until they come into the sponsorship. But nah, definitely, man. Mexico is definitely a lovely place to visit. Couple resorts, adult only resorts. That's really is it got some dope views, plethora of food options, you name it. So I got you on there. I got you. All right. So last icebreaker. What is your favorite NFL team?
Yeah. So it was San Diego Chargers when it was San Diego. I still root for them. I still watch them play, but now I mostly watch some of my homeboys that are playing in the league right now. I'm more watch them than kind of stay with the Chargers. But if I had to pick one, it'd be the Chargers for sure.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Calhoun, Elizabeth City State University linebacker. Chris, man, congratulations on such an amazing accomplishment with your HBCU Legacy Bowl invite. It stands the test of all of the things that you were able to accomplish throughout your journey as a student athlete in the HBCU realm. Listen, if you can give me one of your most memorable games or moments from this year, what would it be?
I know this one's gonna hurt you, but when we came to Bowie on homecoming, man.
I had a feeling you was going to say that.
It's really two, but I think the most memorable. I gotta be going to Bowie on homecoming and beating them on homecoming, man. I mean, we started off the game like slow, like it was
21-7.
Yeah, it was tough, and then our starting quarterback going out, and everything. I mean, I honestly after the third quarter, I thought the game was over. Like in my head, of course I didn't voice that, but in my head I was like, I was kind of rocky about the game, and then we just our defense has really stepped it up, and our offense just came together, and we won. So I have to be at the team that one. And then personally, when we played Virginia Union, I led the team in tackles that week. And then obviously going against the running back in Virginia Union, he's a hell of an athlete, hell of a running back.
Yeah.
just in his balling out that game, probably those two for sure.
Dang, you definitely cut me deep. Nah, it's all love. But listen, man, marks got to be made, whether it's against a team I love or if it's a team I don't like. At the end of the day, your journey and your path is paved by the success and the measures that you take. So kudos to you and for your accolades that you were able to garner and the excitement. And the fact that HBCU Legacy Bowl sought you out,
Yeah.
to be a part of such an amazing opportunity. So to kick it off, I'm gonna give you. We got 7 categories, seven questions. I say categories, but it's really 7 questions. And first one is the selection experience. How did it feel when you first found out you were being selected to participate in the HBCU Legacy Bowl?
Yeah, well, first, it was a goal of mine, coming in my senior year to get selected to this bowl, and I knew if I just play my game and just kept God close and just do what I do, I know I'll be selected. So when I did get the message from Mr. Dennis Allen, man, I was a little bit shocked, but I was just happy and all my hard work came to fruition and just being able to showcase my talents in the school, and to show the athletes that Elizabeth City State has, and just be able to play with other great athletes. I'm just excited, and I can't wait for the future.
Absolutely. If
Yeah.
you can, man, talk about your journey and background. Can you share a bit about your journey to college football and what motivated you to pursue that path?
Man, so I probably got the craziest, like one of the most, if not craziest story right now. So beginning, I'm an older dude. I'm what they call an unk. I was 24 during the season. I'm 25.
Okay.
I just turned 20. Yeah, it's September 28th. But high school, I was heavily recruited with. I'm from California too.
Okay.
So that was also a big difference coming from California to Elizabeth City,
Yeah.
North Carolina. I don't know if you've been in Elizabeth City, but it's a big change. So go.
No, I came down there 3 years ago when Bowie traveled to Elizabeth City.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, you see, it's a big difference coming from the West Coast to the East Coast or to the South. But
Yeah.
first, I was getting recruited heavily. High school, I had a good season, all conference, heavily recruited. But I wasn't, I wasn't a school guy. So I ended up, I was supposed to sign to Washington State, didn't get into school, so I had to go junior college.
Okay.
Went junior college 2 years. Was an All American, all conference. Had a lot of looks. And then COVID happened. So I graduated during COVID. So then COVID happened, and this is 2020. And then no D1s. I was getting heavily recruited, like Texas State, UCLA, Weber State, Utah, all the West Coast schools.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. And then 2021, Benedict actually had called me, and they took me in. So I went in the spring of 2021 to Benedict.
Okay.
Ended up getting homesick. I wasn't able to take a visit or none, so I came home, and it signed with New Mexico, University of New Mexico Highlands. So I signed there, played there, and then my head coach, all the coaching stuff left, and this is 2022. So I took the year of 2021 off, and then I played 2022 spring and fall.
Okay.
Played there, had a good season, had an okay season. Hit the portal because both our coaches left, and then I had took a year off because no one was recruiting me, and I was kind of this, I was really working at the house. I had my son too, so that that was a blessing, and that was he kind of gave me that fire, to keep going. And I was talking to my family about it. They're like, we still think you got it. We still think you can go play. So I waited 1 more year. I was like, I'm gonna give it 1 more year. And then Coach Jones called me from Elizabeth City. He was going from Shaw to Elizabeth City, so they're bringing in a lot of guys, So
Yeah.
I sent over him my film, and then they took a chance on me, and then now I'm here. So it's my football journey. It's been crazy, but everything happens for a reason, and it's a blessing to be now in the position that I am. So
Absolutely, man. Especially, regardless of how you got here, you got here.
Exactly.
But along the journey, it's always going to have those bumps and curves in the road, and
Yeah.
for your journey, to one, as you said, going from the West Coast, to North Carolina is definitely a different change,
Yeah.
especially in climate alone.
Mhm.
But then you go JUCO, COVID happened, and you go to New Mexico, everything lined up perfectly. So the fact that like Eminem said, one shot, right? All we ever need is an opportunity. And the
Exactly.
fact that, you were able to um, get that opportunity with Elizabeth City State says a lot. Not only because regardless of the gaps that was taken, whether it was COVID or for whatever reason it was, the fact that you were still able to, stay mentally sharp and physically fit enough to, when that call came, you were able to answer the call.
Yep.
And, when it comes to children, I know exactly what you mean when you say, when your son gave you that, that motivation to keep going. Sometimes, all we need is a spark. And
Exactly.
oftentimes we don't know where it's going to come from, but, from having my own son, just knowing that when I had him, the first thing I could only think about, when I had him was like, okay, now I got to get my life really straight, because now I'm not just really living for me. I now really have somebody, whom I got to direct in the right way. So he humbled me,
Yeah. Exactly.
So kudos to you for even being able to, one, receive it, and not just receive that but then also to be humble and walk the path you walked, and then to seize the moments and the opportunity that you was given.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I was just so grateful, for the opportunities, just to take me and go that far and take that jump and take that leap. But I always knew, I always trusted in my ability. I always
Yeah,
knew that I could play, and I just knew that if I, once I get the opportunity, I'm gonna make the most of it, and now I'm here, so it's definitely been a blessing.
absolutely. So again, man, you deserve it, all the work you put in for it. Shout out to Chanel Media. Listen, the baddest DJ. Listen, you need some tunes, Chanel gets you right. Another one of my I went to Bowie State with her as well, but she's been making her way up when it comes to the DJs. Been on Caribbean Royal Cruises, DJ, like she big time now. I'm surprised she watching little old me. Not to mention she's an Eagle fan, and she irritates me with that. But that's neither here nor there. Uh, when we talk about the HBCU experience, right? How has being a part of an HBCU shaped your football career and your personal growth?
Oh man, well, just being around like black excellence with like, out here is a little different. So like, just being around black professors and black, just everybody, just I feel like that helped me just grow as a person and just really wanted to, just to see the world and just appreciate everything. And it maybe it's getting too more with the culture too. Like seeing from the line dances to the music to the even to the food, like everything, like like I said, it's different out here in the West Coast. So coming out there, it's just it was like an eye opening experience, But I had a great time. Like everybody was so welcoming, everybody was so happy for me to be there. So I mean, it shaped me now for sure. Like just to be, like I said, more into the culture and everything. So it's been a good time out there.
I know you didn't get the opportunity to experience Benedict, but just from your experiences alone, if you can sum up what HBCU means to you in one word, what would it be?
Man, family. Like I felt like it was such like a family. Like everybody's just so like closer than it was when I was at New Mexico. Um, just like I said, just being in tune with the culture and like just everything. Like in school, just more pride in the school too. I noticed that it's a lot more pride in the schools, and it's a family vibe. Really, like it was like a family, and I had a great time. But both schools, both I felt it for both from Benedict and from Elizabeth City. So yeah, I'd say that.
Awesome. Goal and intentions. What are your main goals for HBCU Legacy Bowl, and how do you plan? to stand out?
Yeah, so well, shoot, the man goes to play on Sundays. I mean, that's ultimately why I came, this far. And then really to go out there and show my talent, show why the NFL GM should take a chance on me. Whether it's drafted, undrafted, rookie minicamp, anything. I'll be grateful for anything. So really, like I said, show my talents on the field and out the field, like with media and just talking X and O's, with the coaching staff and scouts and everything. So really, that's this is open eyes and to put my name out there, really.
And of course, you got athletes that are doing like new media now, so like they're hopping into journalism, things of that nature.
Yeah,
so,
like Cam Newton.
Yeah.
He 106 in sports.
Right.
That is gonna be dope. I already know it is. So
and then
I
also,
like them doing side quests.
Yeah, his 4th and 1 podcast too. Shout out to him and Peggy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot, man. Like, so man, shout out to all the celebrities that are living out the dreams, their dreams and doing their thing. So
let's scrap. I'm gonna edit this out. Let's scrap the last part. Like, we're already at 18 minutes, and we gotta hurry up.
So hopping into the main topics, we're just going to hop right into it. We had some injuries that are going on. Some injuries in this, or kind of a rash of injuries to some younger players.
Yes.
Jaden Daniels, Travis Hunter, and C.J. Stroud are all like within their first like 3 years in the NFL, right? Travis Hunter being a rookie, and this is kind of weird. It's kind of crazy that these are the 3 names, because each of them are in the early stages at different stages, right? CJ is a 3rd-year guy. This is his 3rd season in the NFL. He's been dealing with a concussion, some concussion issues. Travis Hunter is a rookie, and he's a revolutionary rookie because he plays both sides of the ball. He's dealing with a knee issue that's going to hold him out. With some, I think he had like a PCL that has to be repaired surgically. And then Jaden, who was dealing with some stuff with a knee and a hammy earlier in the year, came back and then dislocates his elbow and his non-throwing arm. And I know, like, Commanders fans, you can stop holding your breath. He'll be fine. But it's kind of something to watch, because injuries in the NFL, of course, it's almost impossible to dodge injuries in the NFL. But it's the fact that these injuries now are coming at a more rapid pace, it seems like. And it's no longer like the concussions that like it used to be. Concussions are down due to the helmet technology that the league has implied and employed, and some of the protocols. But now you're getting more, it seems like, of these kind of horrific
freak accidents almost.
Like Fred Warner. Like we've had like Fred Warner's, Cam Scatterboo, Tyreek Hill.
There's so many.
I think all
injuries.
3 of them.
It's like a huge.
Yeah,
list.
every year there's going to be a bunch of injuries, but I mean, I'm talking about like a specific kind of injury. These like knee, ankle break, tib, fib breaks where like it's feet and legs shouldn't turn a certain way.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill suffered one. I know Fred Warner earlier in the season. Cam Scatterboo, who's a rookie running back, suffered one. And Calvin Ridley just yesterday suffered a fibula break. But it didn't. Of course, his didn't turn a nasty angle. It just, it happens, but it just happened. But, it's just one of those things where you're seeing a lot more of these injuries.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It sucks because the rash of injuries in the NFL can cut. They can cut. How can I say this? They can cut injury. They can cut career short.
Yeah.
And it just kind of sucks that these young guys are going through it.
Do you believe that there's like any preventative measures? I mean, it's hard to say because it's such a compact sport. But
as someone
it's like
who's never experienced a injury due to sports, I will say there's not a way to prevent it. Right? Angles happen. Yeah. Right? You get sandwiched between a guy, you're trying to make a move. Somebody hits, you're moving right, someone's moving left, they clip you the wrong way, they hit your knee the wrong way. Your ACL, PCL, MCL, ACL, whatever is sprained, torn, or worse, dislocation or break. It sucks. It's
unfortunate.
But it's a part of the game.
Yeah.
Good thing about it is medical technology now kind of allows where these breaks used to be career ending.
Yeah.
ACL used to be like you no longer play football. Now an ACL is like a 6 to 8 month recovery. You're back up, you're back walking, you're back on the field, and sometimes you're better than you were when you came back. So like I said, we just kind of wanted to touch on the rash of injuries with these young guys.
Because they're so young, like literally in the beginning of their career. Like Travis Hunter literally just got drafted.
Yeah.
And he just had a baby, got married. Like, I believe that they'll all come back stronger and better. But I just we really wanted to talk about this because it just seems like it's getting worse and the players are getting younger. And I guess like Courtlandt said, there's not really a way to prevent it from happening because it's really just how the cookie crumbles. But we're definitely praying for speedy recoveries, and the teams are still coming out strong with the players that they have to replace them. And unfortunately, we're not in Madrid with our Bowie TV family. The Commanders played, and we wish we were there, but it's fine. We're holding it down here in Nashville.
But it's fine though. Enjoy the tropical weather.
They'll be back tomorrow.
But on another note, the NBA, I don't know if I'm pretty sure people have been keeping track of it, has been dealing with some really crazy betting scandal stuff, right? It's been going on for a couple of weeks. As some of you probably know, the big blow up was Chauncey Billups and a couple of other NBA players and coaches being kind of wrapped up in a FBI sting, essentially.
Like the Lakers, they had to hand over documents in their phones today.
It's a big trickle down.
I don't know what they doing.
Well, it's a big trickle down. The NBA is kind of they're at the forefront of it on the professional side of things, but the NFL now is kind of starting to catch wind of some things, and so they're now, as of I think like last week or the beginning of this week, have discussed how to structure prop bets. Which, if you guys don't know what prop bets are, it's essentially like Brock Bowers. Like a prop bet for tonight's game with the Cowboys and the Raiders would be like Brock Bowers over under 75 yards receiving, right? That's a prop bet, but because of how prop bets are like kind of the main thing with like the Terry Rozier thing, and like on the NBA side, it's a little easier. Basketball side, it's a little easier to kind of manipulate that, right? Because if your line is over under 15 points, I can go out. I got 13 points in the first half. And now, I'm on a fast break and I just and short arm a layup or intentionally playing a dunk. Right? Or
they playing a dangerous game.
They're
playing a dangerous game.
Or pass the ball when I have a wide open shot. It's a little easier. In the NFL, I don't think it's that easy. And that's kind of the issue that I'm having, the kind of the dilemma that I'm having, because watching and having played the sport in football, it's just really hard to fake or manipulate the game.
I don't think so.
Because if I'm a receiver,
because I feel like you can choose to lose. You can choose to not win. You can choose to not play your best.
But you can. But it kind of goes to what we were talking about before. One way to heighten your chance of injury in football is to go out there and half do it. That is a way to really end the.
You got me there.
So you got guys out there yes, as a receiver, can I literally alligator arm a pass? Sure.
Alligator arm a pass.
Can I catch a ball and then oops, I dropped it? Yes, but it's impossible for it not to look obvious. But this is a big thing right now with betting, and it can change. Not only is it going to have an effect on the NFL, but it's going to, professional sports and sports betting, it's going to have an effect on you, the common person, because it's going to affect how now, if they do the prop bet thing, it's going to change how you do parlays. It's going to change how you structure your bets. It's going to change how DraftKings and MGM and these other sports books are now going to roll out these things. And if the NFL has their way, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to try to find a way to get out of it. So
if that is how you make your bread and butter, start looking into some other things. So we will keep you guys
just
updated.
Don't do crypto.
Crypto, I've been learning a little. We'll talk about that later. But that's all of the main topics that we had today. We're definitely, I know we've been yapping, but we're the professional yappers here, and you guys love to watch us yap. Okay, guys, so we have reached a part of the show where we are flipping the script. And this week, the game is, who would you like to see on a 24-hour stream? Streaming has been so huge this year. Shout out to Castanet for Mafia-thon and the Streamer University that he did this year. It was huge. Funny Mike put on the Streamer Prom. Like, it was so much going on in the streamer world this year. We even had some athletes on there. I seen Castanet with LeBron James. And so I think that this would be a fun game to, like, who would you like to see? So I would like to see Sid Colson, TP, who is legally known as Teresa Placence. I'm so sorry if I said that wrong, but I know that you want to be called TP, and that's what everybody calls you. And Angel Reese. I think that they would be excellent on a 24-hour stream. I think we would see not only just super funny moments, but I feel like they probably have some really good conversations. They'll probably do some pranks on each other. And then we'll really maybe get the behind-the-scenes scoop on what it is actually like being a WNBA player. I'm sure that they have tons of stories to share. And like I said, like, they're hilarious, especially Sid Colson. She is just a comedic genius. And I would love to watch a 24-hour stream because her interviews be hilarious. Like, the podcast her and TP have are hilarious. Shout out to her because her stalker came back. Like, why are you celebrating that? Why are you celebrating that, Sid? That's crazy. But I think that would be so funny, and I would love to see that.
Shout out to her. Sid should be back for Athletes Unlimited.
Yeah, coming back to Nashville.
In another month or so.
I got my, no, they come back in February. I got my phone call because we went. Because we went last year multiple times, and I got my phone call like, hey, we would love to see you back. I'm like, yeah, do you got a job for me? Let's talk about that. So, yeah. To be continued on that.
Yeah, for sure. I guess, so mines would be the Banana Boat crew, man. Like, or three of the Banana Boat crew. So LeBron, Melo, and Dwayne Wade.
What is the Banana Boat? What?
So
they're too big.
I think they went on like a vacation. It was Chris Paul, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, and LeBron. I don't think Carmelo Anthony was actually there, but I think it was. I know it was. I do know it was Dwayne Wade, LeBron, and Chris Paul. Mm-hmm. I know those three for sure.
Got you.
But they were on this yellow thing. They called it the Banana Boat. Mm-hmm. It's not a banana boat. It's just somebody called it that, and so they've been the Banana Boat crew ever since. But
The Baltimore Ravens came into Sunday Night Football against the New England Patriots with an opportunity to control their destiny to the playoffs, but that came to an abrupt end with a 28-24 loss. One of the biggest storylines out of this game is that Lamar Jackson, before halftime, he went to the locker room early with a back injury and did not return. Tyler Huntley took over the game for Jackson. And afterwards, we had an opportunity to catch up with Lamar, and he talked about getting kneed in the back and just not being able to return to the game. He also told me what his emotions were just watching his team play from the sidelines.
I'm mad, man, because, like, I feel like the game was in our favor, you know. Don't get me wrong, my brother got out there, it still was in our favor, you know, but I don't know, I can't control that. I wish I could. Control it.
Although Tyler Huntley took over this game, he played well enough where the Ravens should have been able to win. But there was a series of costly mistakes that started in the first half of the game where Derrick Henry, he fumbled the ball, and he hasn't done so in weeks. But this time, it really did change the momentum of the game. Here's what he had to say.
Embarrassing. I feel like some of that momentum that we had in that drive, like we would have scored. We gave us 7, so I took 7 points away, and I feel like I took a little bit momentum from the team and the defense, and they went on a long drive and scored. It's just been disappointing,
Although Tyler Huntley took over, the Ravens still played well enough to win the game, but mistakes just kept costing them. Tyler Loop, he missed a field goal, and eventually when the Ravens were driving to try to win the game, Zay Flowers had a costly fumble. Afterwards, I talked to DeAndre Hopkins, who is really a mentor for Flowers, and asked him what his advice is for him.
Zay's been through a lot of adversity throughout his life, so, I always tell him, man, this is the game at the end of the day, so just know that, you've overcame a lot in life, and, just use this as motivation, bro.
The Ravens now have an outside chance of making the playoffs, and they definitely don't control their own destiny anymore. They would need help to make it to the postseason. Here's what Roquan Smith had to say about controlling what they can control from this point on.
Yeah, you just have to control what you can control, and that's just how you go about things as a man and as a football player. So I think it's just as simple.
This is Karita Parks with Bowie TV. That has been your Ravens Rundown. Be sure to follow Bowie TV on all social media platforms at Bowie TV Sports.
Derek, that second to last drive, were you surprised that you were not in the game for the offense, given that you just scored a touchdown?
I mean, we've been doing a rotation for how many weeks. Keaton doing a great job, and in the run game, and we both been in there doing the best we can. And we got a lot of good players, so everybody has to get their touches and get opportunities. So, and Keaton is deserving of it. Didn't work out that way, but another opportunity to look for it next week. This one definitely hurts. Like I said, at home again, come up short. Just wasn't good enough today.
That being said, is this a game, closing out with a lead like that, is that a situation where, if all things were equal, you would like the ball, you would like to be involved?
Any player would just like to be able to have the ball in their hands, make plays for the team, just to give us a chance to go win. I think any player's going to have that same response. If you're a competitor and you love the game, and I definitely love the game, but this didn't go that way tonight. And they were the better team, and that's where they won. But like I said, we got 2 more games to look forward to. Hopefully, football gods bless us. But that's just to see on another day and see how that plays out. But just looking forward to the next 2 and be the best player I can to help us win the next year. So.
Derek, how does that work with the rotations? Do they come to you and say, hey, this is Keaton's series, you're sitting now, or who makes that call and who tells you?
That's just something that we've been doing on the last couple of weeks, and it's been a good flow. So he goes to series, I go to series. I don't think it's be a big deal if we won the game. Wouldn't be no questions about it because but I understand when you lose, everybody's gonna want to know or try to analyze every single situation. But this is something we've been doing. We did it last week and everything was fine. We won. So.
Derek, what happened in the fumble in the first half?
You jinxed me.
Yeah,
early this week. First I thought, I'm like, man, he didn't jinx me. But yeah, this really embarrassing. I feel like some of that momentum that we had in that drive, like we would have scored. We gave us 7, so I took 7 points away, and I feel like I took a little bit momentum from the team and the defense, and they went on a long drive and scored. It's just been disappointing, kind of like this whole year. You kind of work hard to be the best player you can, be consistent, and have the most success. And sometimes it don't go that way, which is upsetting. But like I said, I'm gonna keep working and try to do my best for this team. But yeah, this year's kind of been frustrating, not as a team, but like for me as far as my play and just the mistakes. It cost the team.
Derek, after
we
the season,
we just talked to Lamar. saw the anguish in his face as he was talking about, getting hurt again and trying to get out there. I mean, has that just been kind of an awful thing for you guys to watch, sort of seeing him get derailed again and again by these things?
Yeah, you never want to see the QB, your leader of the team, your best player on the team, go down like that. We want him out there. We want to be healthy, and we want him out there so we can have the best chance to win. It's the game of injuries. That stuff like that happens. But Lamar, he's a competitor, and he's a fighter. So I know he wanted to be out there, but circumstances didn't go that way today. Hope we can get him back this upcoming week.
Derek, when you signed an extension with this team in the offseason, I mean, what were your expectations for this year, especially given how well this offense worked last year?
Yeah, I think that's self-explanatory. I think the expectations. We're not really trying to have expectations. Just want to put the work in, and then let our work show. Last year was a fun year. Did some great things, but we came up short. And this year we just had some unfortunate circumstances, and things that had swung our way. Had some adversity, and it just hasn't been good enough. Honestly, as a whole, I think everybody on the team would say that we just haven't been good enough. And like I said, we got 2 games left, and we can end it the way we want to end it. But it just hasn't been good enough.
Go ahead, guys. Anyone? What are just the emotions after a game like that, where you have the lead and then the fourth quarter kind of just slips away?
Shit sucks. Not a lot of words. It sucks. You up like that on the team. You want to be able to finish, and we didn't. So it hurts. Yeah.
With Zay.
Fall back from that one as starter, I guess, what is emotion that playoffs are now out of our hands?
When we were 1-5, we know that we were still a good team and that we had a chance. We just, had to correct some things, and we did that. Got a little run, but obviously this is the NFL. You got to bring it every week. Go against, teams like Patriots, well coached, execute. You gotta execute better and make more plays in them.
What do you say to Zay? He's someone who takes mistakes to heart. Like, what do you say to him after a game like this?
Zay's been through a lot of adversity throughout his life. So, I always tell him, man, this is the game at the end of the day. So just know that, you've overcame a lot in life, and, just use this as motivation, bro.
Lamar went down. How'd you feel like the offense responded with there?
We went out, made some plays, obviously. We didn't do enough as offense to finish, but still, we thought we had a chance. And Snoop has played a lot of ball. He's played a lot for this organization, so I think everybody believes in Snoop when he gets in.
Earlier this season, you talked about needing to execute in critical situations. From all your experience, is there anything this team can do to learn to perform in clutch moments?
I'm a player, not a coach, so I go out and do what's called on me to do. I won't complain. I really don't ask too many questions, so that question is something I really can't answer, but guys just gotta do their job.
My legs felt great tonight. Just got kneed in the back in the red zone. Just couldn't finish the game. I was trying, tore it on my shot and stuff like that, but still ain't get no better. Yeah.
Lamar, has this just been kind of a terrible season in that sense, in the sense that it just feels like this stuff keeps happening to you?
Yeah, man, it's BS, bro. I can't control that, though. Like, I'm on the ground, like I'm down. I gave myself all that I needed in the back. But yeah, for the most part, you can say that because getting injured and then we fighting for a chance to make the playoffs, I can't finish the game with my guys, so it's BS.
Lamar, was there any point at halftime or on the sideline where you tried to throw a ball and it was just too painful?
Yeah, I was in here trying to throw it with one of our trainers' calf. I couldn't, just hurt.
Did it aggravate anything that's pre-existing for you? I mean,
no, it didn't do anything to nothing.
Do you think they'll be able to play at all this Saturday?
Yeah, that's the goal. Like, do a CAT scan or whatever tomorrow, and then see what it shows.
Lamar, you touched on it. But what's the emotions for you when you want to be out there to play, especially?
Like I'm mad, man, cause like I felt like the game was in our favor. Don't get me wrong, my brother got out there, it still was in our favor. But I don't know, I can't control that. I wish I could. I can't control it.
Mark, just how frustrating all the injuries and all season, and then to lose a game, kind of the way you guys have lost games with kind of injuries or missed opportunities.
Yeah, the injuries at the beginning of the season, I was past that. I'm past that. Like I said, we was fighting for a position. We still fighting for a position, to make playoffs. I felt great tonight, like I said. Unfortunately, that happened. I wish it didn't, though.
How much pain are you in right now?
Pain, it hurt.
Yeah.
It hurt.
One more.
Is this
What's it like just to know that your guys' playoff destiny is no longer in your control?
You leave that up to God. We can't. All we can do is control what we can control. Just watch film, hit the practice and work, and then just went out.
First things I thought, coming back to the game and thinking back, I liked how we came out, honestly, like the special teams, the forced fumble between Mikey on the hit and Kane, I thought on the recovery. It was one of the longest battles of a scrum you could ever see. It went on. And so at the end of it came, he wasn't giving up the ball. Liked early on how we ran the ball offensively, how we, made some stops and flew around on defense. I thought, honestly, like the timing of the defensive penalties, not extending some of the drives on offensively on third down. I thought that's kind of the story of the game within the game. There was a lot to like early when I had told the guys, in this game we're going to arrive violently and finish violently. And I thought first half we did do that, but it has to be for the whole time. I'll give you some updates on just some injuries. We had 3 injuries occur during the final 2 minutes. I know you guys didn't get an update on that. Sam Cosme and Johnny Newton were evaluated for a concussion. I'll give you an update onto that. And Brandon Coleman had a shin injury. So I don't have any updates. I haven't visited with the medical staff or with any of the players on that. So I don't have any updates to share, but I wanted to make sure I was clear with you. Marcus injured his hand. I'll give you a better update tomorrow onto that, what it looks like, in terms of the preparation for the week. But again, I haven't visited with the medical guys or with Marcus specifically, so I just want to make sure I was giving you everything I could up front. All that said, why don't we get rocking with your questions and get started?
Dan, what were your thoughts on the 2-point conversion and then the fight that kind of went after that?
Yeah, I thought this would be a tough game that would go all the way through. We talked last year's game. We thought the biggest difference was, the turnover margin. And if we could play, better in that space, we'd give ourselves a real shot to go. So, hey, that's their choice, man. I want to look at the tape and see what happened before, our ejections or poise or any of those things. Like, our guys are absolutely going to stick up for themselves and for their teammates. And so I'll have a better sense, as I get through it.
And just how difficult is it for you guys to have another in-game quarterback change?
It's challenging for sure. And, for Josh, obviously, like not getting a lot of the reps into that space. So he'll get more, as it goes, and we'll have, like I said, a better sense for where it is for Marcus. But it's a tough spot for anybody to go into. That was no different really with Marcus when he had to go in. So it's part of the gig, but it's definitely tough just for looks, because oftentimes you're game planning or designing, one thing, but then you have to go in and do that job. So I thought, the play you'd like to have back would be the interception, and we'll, get a sense for what this week looks like.
Obviously, it's their choice to go for two there,
Right
and
on.
It's your job to stop them. But is there an unspoken respect between coaches, teams, where in a game in that situation you don't do that? And kind of, did you feel like it was a little bit of a sign of disrespect?
Yeah, I can only answer from my side what I would do. But hey, man, like, that's how they want to get down, and like, all good. We play them again in 2 weeks.
Hey, Coach, when you all get down into the goal line from an offense perspective,
Yep.
is there anything around the analytics or just the overall decision making on when you get right there, whether you're going for the run or the pass there?
Some of it is the decision to go, I would say, are some analytics, like use some numbers like, 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. What would the percentage be? So like that's there. But you also factor in what do they play into that spot. So if a team was really strong loading the box and you say, okay, hey, I want to attack the perimeter or attack something differently, that's what you look at. So it does come into like both. Usually before the game, we're going through, in our meetings to say we'd go at this spot, we wouldn't at this spot. So that way we're kind of prepared. So when we get to that space, we know, hey, this is where we'd go from, this is where we'd kick from. And so I try to just be clear with everybody when we get to that spot. So maybe referring to like the first series, right on. So at that spot, if it was inside of 1 in this game, we thought, okay, that'd be a good spot to go. But further out, we thought, hey, getting the points to start the game would be the way that we would go. So sometimes even you run it, you gain 1, lose 1, where is it at? But yeah, it had to be closer, in that spot. And then you go. And I don't second guess those, like this is the areas that we practiced, and then, we dig in from there. But yeah, that's a little bit of both.
And it seemed like, the score was at like 14-10. It was like you all were right in it until
Yes.
you weren't. And I know you haven't had an opportunity to look at the film, but was there just a moment that you can think of and say, okay, this is kind of when the bottom fell out?
I think the long run by Saquon in the fourth, like we had a fourth down, maybe in the start of the fourth, maybe there's like 10 minutes or something like that, Candy, and we punted. I felt like that was the right call then. We were, close enough. If you get a good stop on the next one, we got a 3 and out, we got it again, and then there was a long one that he broke, maybe 40 or 50 yards. But I thought, stay in there. There wasn't going anything that was big over the top. And so I think that was the one that I felt like, man, the tank's getting emptied here, and it felt lower. So that was kind of that point in the game where I was like, back and forth. Could you get right back into it or not? At the half, I liked, the fight where we were, starting with the ball. And obviously, like, losing Marcus in the game, that's, like, no doubt, like, a factor for it. But, yeah, I don't know if there's that specific play felt bad.
I think I'm probably one of the rare individuals in any stakeholder group that feels completely different about the fight. Completely different.
No, I get why one would. I mean, the old me would, if the team wasn't so bad, I wouldn't have an issue with it.
I have a completely different way of thinking about it. I was literally like, well, they say they fight for one another. That's real.
Okay.
And I would always say when people are like, it's a bunch of nice guys, I'd be like, yeah, but.
I got
Because
one word too. I got another one word.
Okay.
Someone tweeted me a one word. It's hilarious. It's like all together though. It says Eagle fans are the worst humans on the planet. He made it like it was one word. They just put it together. He just put it together.
He made a run-on sentence, one word. Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
that is creative. I
That's
love
right.
it. I love that.
Shout out to you, Mark, man, from Hogs Haven. Shout out to you, Mark. That's hilarious.
Shout
Go ahead, I'm
out
sorry.
to you, Mark. And so I had a completely different take on it. It was so unfortunate. And sometimes I make jokes that I shouldn't make. Like, well, hey, if you lose a football game, just start a fight. because at least you'll win that. And so it was, but no, you're not supposed to fight. You're absolutely not supposed to fight. But what I thought to myself was, if they could, have even close to what they had, last season, or was just winning, right? This could certainly be a team that nobody would want to play in Northwest Stadium. Like, that's where my mind went. And I literally said, for me, it was more of a wow, right?
Yeah.
Now in the press box, I looked over and I was like, oh, there they go. Because I was waiting for one to happen. And remember on the pregame show, I was completely wrong. Remember I said something today, and you all may be surprised that I'm saying this. And what I said was, man, I miss Marshawn.
Yeah, you said that, yeah.
I did. I said I miss Marshawn, because if I knew the bullies on that other team, if it was one person that was going to take one for everybody, it get a PI. That's how it would start. It was going to be Marshawn.
Yeah, you said be a PI. That's how it would start. That's hilarious. I'm sorry. That's funny. I'm sorry.
It was going to be Marshawn Lattimore for sure. And I was like, there's no Marshawn. There'll be no fights today. And I mean, it got out of control, as everyone saw. But in my mind, I'm always going to be a glass half full person. But from a perspective of when everyone say, oh, they're a bunch of nice guys, but you might not want. Hey, I'm nice too. Well, it's nice too. But you run up, emotions are already high. You run up on one of them, it's not going to go well. It's just not. And so, you know what? It was similar. Again, I have a very different perspective of it. And so people can probably hear that I was like, oh well. And so I thought to myself as well, it was a lot. I had a lot of thoughts about that fight. One, if you really think about, and that's my god brother. Jason Ebo Blackman is my god brother. Everybody.
Oh, what's up, man?
Fan, so just
they did jump on him
because that is my god brother.
No, it is a fact though. They did jump him. That was hilarious though. I thought that was hilarious. They jumped him. But no, the question, I ain't gonna hold you, Jason. The problem I have with that one is it's not that they jumped him, but where was his teammates at?
Well, that's what I was just about to say.
That's where I was at with it though.
You wanna know where his teammates were? Like, oh, they serious. Yes. Hold on. They serious. Yeah. So with everybody, and that's one of the things that it was like, I know those people right there. Those are the folks that I'm getting to know. Because they can, I have varying thoughts about the play and this and that. But at the root, you want to talk about, again, I have a different thought process on this. Displays of brotherhood. Sometimes it ain't always roses and rainbows, but if you mess with one of them, you're going to mess with all of them. And I'm serious, like if they could get the game play right, if they could get that right, and people know they act like that for real, Northwest Stadium could literally be a place that teams would be like, hey, listen, just don't, just play football when you go up in there, okay? Because them boys be about something different when you get to play one of them.
I do got a question for you though. Even with that being said, though, I thought I have no I felt like
I was like,
I don't know. I get the perspective. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't have had an issue with if they didn't suck this year. To be honest with you, I kind of looked at it like you a poor sport in a way. And what I mean by that is it's not like because they were talking trash. It's more like they went for two. Like they went for two. Like they got mad, they went for two. That's what it was. They got mad, they got two. That's what it is. I know a lot of people want to play it. They got mad that they went for the 2-point conversion, which I thought was kind of weak. I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't think that was a thing.
Well, it was a lot of trash talking going on, and I don't want to necessarily name where.
Oh no, I could tell they were.
It started even before
The
everyone
game.
saw Mikey Sanders still. You know
Oh
what I mean?
no. I'm
You
sure
know
it
what I mean?
was. I'm sure.
It was a lot of this and that. But you
Yeah.
got to understand, this is now historic with them.
Yeah.
This is now a thing with these two teams get together. You know, because I distinctly remember last year in Northwest Stadium when remember CJ Gardner Johnson.
Yeah.
He
Well,
said something to
Diami. We said
Diami.
Diami. Yeah, I remember.
Diami slapped him. Diami
Yeah.
punched him in the face, and then CJ got kicked out.
Yeah.
The ref was right there. So it was like the ref clearly heard whatever Diami swinging on somebody, like off the rip.
Yeah.
Diami, yeah, but because they're nice guys, and sometimes when you're nice, people, you're like, I ain't nice, he didn't do nothing. But
Yeah.
it was that egregious where the ref said,
Oh, it was
Diami
that
said,
nasty. Yeah, it was
you
that
gotta
nasty.
go.
Whatever that person said was whatever Gardner said was
Right.
obviously out of pocket. But I was just how I looked at it, like from watching it on TV, it was just like, oh, they went for two. Which I mean, I get being mad. I'm not gonna lie to you, regardless. I mean, I'm sure like they were talking trash. Like it doesn't like going for two ain't the end all be all. I know that. Like I know getting the, like it was definitely something prior, but I know that going for two and getting the two and actually getting it put them over the top. Like I feel like if they didn't get the 2-point conversion, they got to stop. Then they wouldn't been. To me, it wouldn't have been a fight, in my opinion.
I
It wouldn't
don't
have been a
think they
fight.
were even paying, but
They would still talk trash, but I don't think they would have
I
fought.
don't even think they noticed what was happening
Yeah.
because it was, I think because publicly that's what everybody saw and everybody that's what happened. That's not like what happened, if that makes sense.
No,
So
it makes sense.
it comes to, oh, well, they went for two, and that's what the issue was. No. It's now a thing. It's a thing. It's going to start at the beginning and it's going to rush all the way through. And then once it got going and Sting hit Mikey and hit everybody, Sting hit Mikey. And then Javon said, not in my house. Y'all remember Javon from DC.
Mm-hmm.
He from uptown. He, at his core, he from here. And what you're not going to do is pick one of the smallest people on the field and mollywop him in front of his teammates and think, well, nobody gonna do anything.
Yeah.
And so, and that's the, but once you if you really go back and look, I've watched that fight several times to all different types of music and songs and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, the internet is a wild place.
Oh,
and
man,
so,
it's amazing. It's amazing.
And in that regard, it was amazing. And then watching on the TV version, it was people involved in the ruckus that I'm like, now that must have really been bad down there on the field, because you coming up out of there, you in the thick of it. I ain't gonna say nobody's names, and I'm not a snitch. So if they nobody say nothing, then I'm not gonna say anything. But it was way more than Quan and Javon in there, and it was some ruckus going on, and they just literally, you mess with one, you mess with all. And I know this is probably not going to be, something that people are happy about in terms of the displays of brotherhood, but that was one. And it's only so much, even when you lose it. But again, I'm gonna go back to the point of, hey, look, imagine if they were like, because I think also, like, they would be like that, even if
they wouldn't.
Yes,
I think it all added up. I feel like it all adds up. I feel like what happened last year in the NFC Championship game, what's happening this year, because I feel like they had something to play for. They wouldn't put their season at risk to make the playoffs or whatever. I do feel like because they have nothing to lose, they can act that way. You know what I'm saying? Like if you throw punches and it's 2 games left in the season, there's a reason why, to be real with you, there is another reason why other players didn't get involved for the Eagles. They got more to lose. They throwing punches.
They got more to lose, but there was one person that was willing to risk it all.
No, I'm sure it is, but
because I think they're like, nothing has come down.
Yeah.
So I
not
think
yet. Not yet.
Nobody, the word on the street is nothing gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying, like, Washington was